Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to show you how to make some press-on nails. So I have my clients measure their nails for me. I don't send out sizing kits or anything like that. Using the tape method I get them to do, and I will insert a little picture or what I show to my clients for them to measure their nails. So I have my sizes and everything selected out. So I'm going to pop these onto my stands, but before I do that, we need to prep them. This particular client likes her nails quite short as she works on a computer all day. So I'm just going to hold it up to my nail for reference. By the way, it's not dirt stuck in my own nail, guys. I had a bruise and it is finally nearly grown out. So I'm just going to hold the tip on my own nail, grab my handy dandy tip cutters, and I'm going to cut it a little bit long so we have room to file and shape. So I'm going to cut it just above there. And she likes some squoval shape. They're going to go square, a tiny bit shorter than this. I'm going to round those corners off. So I'm only going to show you how to do this on one or two of the nails because I don't want this video to be too long. I think this part is pretty self-explanatory. When you are shaping press-on nails, a lot of people tend to go too much on the sides and you're cutting into the shape and you're actually changing the fit of the nail, because where your clients actually measure is from the widest part of their nail bed either side. So if you are filing too much of that off the tip, it's not going to fit side to side. So usually, as a guide on my own nail, as you can see, that is not 100% straight. If it was to be straight, it would be lifted up slightly. So I am going to take these sides up a little bit and then I'm going to work on my shaping. So taper them in slightly, make sure that line is nice and straight on either side, and then just go over the top. So I'm not going to file all the way back here. I'm only filing from where it starts to dip down, and where it does is right where the nail and the free edge meet. So in this area here, mine is actually down lower just because I have that bruise. So I'm going to use this side as my guide. So I'm not going to file any further than past this point here. So only shaping all the way up here. And I'm going to pop it on one of these just to make it a little bit easier when I'm shaping. I like to half stick them on so I have a little bit of room to hold it as well. So like I said, only kind of the top half, so you're not changing the fit of the nail. Or else what's the point of measuring them at all, huh? So when you're doing a squoval shape, you want to make sure it's fully straight before you add your rounded corner. So I'm just going to pop it on my own nail just for reference again. Make sure I'm happy with it. As you can see, this corner is slightly higher. There you go. So I'm going to fix that a little bit and I'm going to check the sides. Make sure I'm happy with it. Make sure it doesn't look too wide, because there's no point wide looking on the nail. It's not a very flattering shape, so I need to take it in a little bit more on this side. Round out these corners then, just to give it a nice squoval finish. and I don't like to overdo it because I find that takes the shape off completely when I do it too much. That can look a little bit wonky. So I'll just check that then on my own nail. So I'm just going to check that then. So next I'm just going to take the righty edges off of that shape, give it a buff. So next thing you want to do is prep the surface of the tip. I'm just going to use my white buffing block for that because I don't want to take any of the actual material off. I just want to mat the surface. That just ensures that my polish and all my products I'm going to pop on it are going to stay put and they're not going to peel off. So I'm just going in with my buffing block. And that is where we're at. So next, what I like to do, and not everybody does this, but I think it's a great way of helping the adhesion, is prepping the inside of the nail with a sanding band. So I do this so when you are popping the glue, or if you're using glue tabs, sticking it onto the nail, everything adheres properly. So you're creating a little bit of texture in here so it's not smooth, so it sits well on the natural nail. So you only need to prep where the actual nail, the majority of your actual nail bed is going to sit, so you don't need to prep the whole inside like if you were doing longer nails. Like if you were doing one this length, you don't need to prep all the way up to here, you only need to prep the bottom half where it's going to stick to the nail. So this is just a 240 grit sanding band. I'm just going to turn my drill on to about 10,000 rotations per minute. It doesn't need to be very high. So as you can see on the inside, that is nice and textured. So we are done with this one. So I'm going to pop that back on my tip and back on the stand. So I'm just going to prep the rest of these then off camera, and I'll be back to show you how I finish them off. Okay, so I have all my tips shaped, prepped on top and underneath. So I'm just going to give them a quick wipe with some cleanser just to get all of the dust off, and then we'll jump straight into painting them. So I have my left hand and my right hand. I like to keep them facing down towards me as if I'm doing somebody's hand, so I have the flat edges pointing towards me. It just helps me keep track of which hand is which, and these particular stands, as I said earlier, come in gold and silver. I usually do silver on the left hand nails on the silver stand, and then white on the gold. So when you're holding your hand out like this, your thumb is here, so that's why I have the thumb here and the pinky here, and same with the right hand, thumb, pinky. So I'm going to jump right into painting them. I'm using the Manicure Company brand of gel polish, and I'm using the shade Lavender. I'll just give you a little sneak peek of what it looks like. So it's not quite pastel, but it's light enough and still have a lovely vibrancy to it. So we're going to go ahead and pop 2 coats on. Pop that in the lamp. So when I pop them in the lamp, I just pop them in like this for the first cure, and then for the second cure I tip them over, because I have lights on the sides and the top, so I want to make sure that the curve, that the light reaches all the sides of it. So that's why I cure like this one time and then like this. So pop that into the lamp. And I'm going to paint this one. So that's how it looks after the first coat. So we're going to pop another coat on. There's quite a bit of coverage in the one coat, but you always want to do two, just to make sure it's completely opaque. And you want to make sure you're getting right down to the sides as well. And you don't want any excess polish to be sitting at the cuticle or down at the sides, so you'll always want to make sure to wipe any of the excess off the sides. You don't want, because of the curve, you don't want it to run down here and gather, because it's not going to cure properly, and it's going to affect the overall shape and look of the nail as well. Yeah, so that is 2 coats applied. Pretty happy with the coverage, and I just had a little pinch of the sides, and I am happy with how much flexibility and strength is in them. These tips are pretty good anyway for strength, but sometimes I find when you cut them shorter, like I cut a good bit of length off of these, I find that it can eat into the C-curve, which eats into the strength a little bit, but I had a test of these and I'm happy with how they're feeling. So I'm just going to go in with top coat now. So this is just a no wipe top coat. So I'm just going to apply 1 coat of this and cure it in the lamp. So these are out of the lamp and they have cooled down. You need to let a no wipe top coat cool down for a minute just before you go and touch them. If not, you can actually dull the shine on them a little bit. So they have cooled down. I've taken a few pictures of them on the stands themselves. So I'm going to show you how I package these next. So I'm just going to pop these out of the way for a minute. So these are, hang on, let me zoom out a little bit for you guys. So these are the envelopes I use. So they fold in at the sides, they go up at the bottom, and they've got little tablets in the shape of a love heart. It's really cute. And then you fold it down and it fastens in that way. So I have customized these a little bit. So I have put a sticker here. It says the Nail Lounge, which is the name of my business. And I got those ones made for me. If I remember the name of the company, I will link it down below. I did design this myself. I believe it was in Canva, I think, that I did this. My friend designed the logo and then I popped it on the background and I just sent it on to the company to print. And these stickers here I actually made myself. Let me bring it in a little bit. So I made these myself, so they're on a matte surface, that's why it's not shiny like this one is. So it's just normal sticker paper that I bought myself, and I got the background of this from, I believe, Pinterest, I'm gonna say, Pinterest or Canva, probably Pinterest. And I saw this little quote, it says, "Your purchase made my day and I hope this package brightens yours." And then I customize it with my name and drew a love heart beside it. I saw that quote on Pinterest and I just thought it was a really cute small business quote. So I uploaded this design into Procreate, I think, and I have access to an iPad with pens with them. So I loaded the design in and added a signature. So that's how I did that. So I start off with the envelope, fold in all the tabs, and then I have this piece of card, and that stays loose in there. So I'm going to have everything else stuck onto this, so when they take this out, they can actually see this, so I'm not completely covering it, they're still going to see it. So that goes in the back. I'm just going to move the outer part out of the way. Right, so we have that. So I pop my nails into these. So it's like a little ziplock bag. It's holographic on one side and clear on the other. These just about fit the nails in. I would recommend going a size up. You could just use these on their own and get larger ones, and then you can fit everything into them. But I didn't, and I didn't want to waste them. So I cut out pieces of card and fit that in there, and then I stick my nails onto this. So I have some double-sided mounting tape, so it's sticky on both sides. And I got the 3mm one. I didn't want to have it too thick, so I'll just move everything out of the way. So what I do, I just pop a full strip side to side there. Just get my scissors. And I just snip that off right at the end. And I do the same down here. You don't want to put them too close together, because if your nails are long, they're going to be bumping off of each other. So you want to give them a little bit of breathing room. Double-sided sticky tape is definitely a must, because you don't want everything loose in your package, and everything's just going to be a mess and go everywhere. I prefer this width as well, the 3mm. I've seen the other ones, and I see other techs using the fatter ones as well that are just like normal tape width, but I find there's just going to be too much dirt getting stuck to them, whereas with this, most of it gets covered when everything is in. So I write down which hand is left and right, and because the left has the pinky at this side, I do the left on top and the right on bottom instead of the other way around. So I do a little L up here and a little O down there. So I'm just going to take the backing off of that, and it's just clear. And I start off with the pinky. So when you take these off the stands, you want to make sure that all the edges are smooth. Sometimes if the paint goes over, or you stick to the blue tack, or if you have any sharp edges or anything like that, this is your chance to fix them. So I will check these as I pop them on. So I'm just going to roughly lay them out just to make sure the spacing and everything looks okay. So I just gently lay them down first. Check for any sharp edges. And bring you guys back in a little bit so you can see a bit better. You also want to make sure that there is no blue tack left on the inside, because we etch the inside of them. The blue tack does tend to stick that bit better, a bit easier. So you just want to double check everything is perfect. Do have a bit of blue tack stuck in there, I find if you just get one of these and kind of drag it in there, then it takes it right off. Have a tiny bit of a sharp edge right in there, so I'm just going to get my buffer, move that out of the way so we don't want any dust on it. And just like that, solved. Oh. I am happy with how that layout is. So what I'm going to do with my jacket over my fingers, I'm just going to press down on them, not too hard, but just to make sure they're stuck. And I give them a little rub as well, so there's no fingerprints or dust or anything like that left on them. Moved a little bit there. Just pop it back up. Oh, so I'm going to do the same then down here. Before I do that, I am just going to take some photographs of these before I stick them on, and I'm just going to do them loose on this lovely background. So I will be back. Okay, so I have all my images taken, and I might insert a few here, or they will definitely be up on my socials anyway, so I will leave my Instagram and my Facebook handle below or on the screen. They'll be somewhere. So you want to take that second backing paper off. I'm redoing the right hand now, so the way the right hand is, thumb to pinky, so that's how I will lay them out. So again, I'm just going to roughly lay them out. So that is how they are looking. So we get a little ziplock bag again, open that up. I'm just gonna slot this in. I think these holographic packages are so cute. So shiny. Oh, so we have the nails in. Back to this. So I'll zoom you guys out a little bit so you can see more of what I'm doing. So we have that. So then we want to put the back of it in. So this part. So I'm going to stick these up in this corner here. So you want to grab your double-sided tape again. Just take a little bit of that off. Don't need much, just time load it. So you're going to stick that to the back and take that off. I want to make sure it's the right way around, and then I stick it up in this corner here. So next thing I want to pop in, so your application and removal. And last but not least, god damn it, I definitely took one of these out, like I just don't know where I'm after leaving it. Right, so I have put the second set of nails on, and I have just popped it in and secured the little ziplock bag down. I popped a little bit of double-sided sticky tape just to stick those together. The layout I like to have is up in the right hand corner. So everything that comes in this pack is everything that you will need for applying your press-on nails. So the next thing I'm going to pop in and stick down is some glue. So we're going to get a little bit of our double-sided sticky tape again. Cut off a teeny bit. Stick it on, take the backing paper off. And I like to have that sitting right about there. So that's nice and secure. And then we have a little mini nail file as well. So it's pink and blue. So you have 240 grits on one side and 180 grit on the other. So basically one side is just softer than the other, but they are both safe for the natural nail. So I prefer the pink aesthetic wise, so I like to stick it down pink side up. So how I stick this down with the double-sided sticky tape without it getting completely gunked up and still usable. So I only barely overlap it at the back. So when you're taking it off, you can have this part here to pull and peel it off of the nail file completely. So if I was to stick that in the middle and you go try to file your nails, when you're not going to be able to file it in one particular spot, it's just going to be in the way. So you want to take that off, lay it down where you want it, just push down. And the next thing that is included is an orange wood stick. So you have the slanted side here, which is the side that you would use to push your cuticles back, and you also have a pointed side. I wouldn't use this on the nail itself. I'd use this if you were to clean out underneath your nails, or if you are trying to get the nails off, not by pulling them off. It just helps to loosen them when you are in the removal process. So I will get a bit of handy dandy double-sided stick tape for that as well. And I like to stick this long ways, because if I was to wrap it around the whole thing, you're just getting dirt stuck to the top of it. Let's take the backing off, and I lay mine down here. Yeah, so all those things are completely secured in. Then there's 3 more things to go in. So you have the option to glue your nails on, or you have double-sided sticky tabs. So these are more for temporary wear. So I like to give everybody the option of what they want. So just lay that in there. You then have alcohol wipes. So I gave 2 in the pack, so you have 1 for each hand. It's just to remove, if you are buffing the nails or anything like that, to remove the dust off, any excess oils. Just make sure that they're properly prepped so you can get as long as you can out of the nails. And then the last thing to go in is your application and your removal instructions. So that is everything that I include in the pack, and you wouldn't believe what I just found on my leg. The nail file that I knew I had taken out for myself. Unreal, bye. Yeah, so I fold the sides in first, pull the tabs out, put the bottom up, and then I pop them in. Sometimes it needs a little bit of encouragement, so I just push down until it is locked in. Now, next thing I do, I wrap them in some twine because I think it's a cute aesthetic. So I put the twine in between the love heart, and then I am going to flip it over. Just going to pull it through a little bit more, make sure it's in the right spot. I'll flip. So you have it going top to bottom, and then they meet in the middle and you crisscross them. So it's like an old style parcel. So you want to pull it a little bit tight and then flip it over. So basically at this point you want to make sure you just have enough to tie it and pop a bit of a bow on it. So I'm just gonna cut it there. Can move the twine out of the way. And just a simple knot. So like you're tying a shoelace. I just think it really adds to the look. Make sure it's nice and tight. It's going to cut a tiny bit off this side. I'm only a tiny bit OCD. Yeah. And that is how I package my press-ons. The only thing left to do, pop the name and address on a bubble mailer and pop it, if I can speak, pop it in the post. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I will leave the links to everything down below. I got pretty much everything on Amazon. Actually, hang on, my favorite purchase that I got off Amazon was this. So this little handy dandy thing here, this is a corner cutter. So as you can tell, all of my things have a lovely rounded corners on them. So you've got different sizes. Let me find a piece of paper to... Yeah, I just have a regular piece of paper. So I'll show you the smallest first. So basically you just stick it in and press. Just take the excess off. So that is a 4mm one, so that rounded that a little bit. So that's the smallest, and then you have the 7mm. Just cuts off a little bit more. And then this really flimsy paper, so it's kind of hard to show. Then you have the 10 mil, so that just cuts off a tiny bit more. And that is my favorite thing that I have bought off of Amazon. I like everything to have rounded corners on it. Yeah, so I will leave all my links, all my Amazon affiliate links down below, and let me know if any of you guys use this stuff for your press-on business. Okay, thank you for tuning in as always, and I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to check out my Instagram for the photos of this set that I took. Okay, bye!